Is there a problem with ambulance response times in the city of Sioux Falls? Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen.
And I'm Courtney Collin. Today, the Sioux Falls Regional Emergency Medical Services Authority, or REMSA, held a meeting, and on the agenda was the subject of ambulance service in the city.
The city's primary provider is Paramedics Plus, and the chairman of the REMSA board says they are doing a good job. But one man says he is questioning that, and his story is our 10 o'clock top story tonight. In April, 24-year-old Joshua Neal was on an ATV that crashed near 37th and Waltz.
As a result of that, he lost his life.
Joshua was the eighth
This was nobody's fault.
And youngest child of Brian Neal.
It was brought to my attention that it was 22 minutes before an ambulance arrived.
Neal wants to know why it took 22 minutes for Sioux Falls ambulance provider Paramedics Plus to get to his son.
I think that Paramedics Plus does what they're supposed to do in responding to emergencies in this city.
Gary Myers is the chairman of the Sioux Falls REMSA board.
I think we have an excellent EMS system in Sioux Falls, one of the best in the country.
Myers says the case of Joshua Neal was reviewed by the city and that proper procedures were followed. He denies any suggestion the current system needs to be fixed.
What does need to be fixed is how we educate the public and the public's perception of how an EMS system works.
Paramedics Plus' most recent report shows a 97% on-time response rate. But there are a handful of cases, like Joshua Neal's, where that didn't happen.
They're waiting 20 minutes before they call us for mutual aid. And now when they don't have an ambulance available, they need to dispatch us immediately.
Jay Major with Brandon-based MedStar Ambulance has a mutual aid agreement with Sioux Falls, but claims it's rarely used. He says he is willing to bridge the gap for Sioux Falls emergency calls.
We have offered, on their busy times, to put an ambulance in the middle of Sioux Falls free of charge.
Gary Myers says maintaining a 100% on-time response rate is a virtual impossibility for any ambulance service in any American city.
My care is for people.
Brian Neal says it makes him feel that the death of his son is considered an acceptable loss.
The most nightmarish thing there is to be laying somewhere needing an ambulance and there's none available.
The Sioux Falls REMSA board says it is constantly reviewing Paramedics Plus performance and for the moment is satisfied with the job the company is doing.